So as you can see by the title, this is the news I wanted to share. I got a job. I had a job. I had other jobs, but now I have a job that is full-time, permanent, and has benefits. So I have a real job. Finally, it took a really, really long time, 2 years since moving here, but I finally did it. And I just wanted to take you guys through the journey of getting this new job. And I also want to just prefix this video by saying I want to talk about the new job, but I want to give some details, but not too many, because for security reasons, I have to be very careful about what I say on the internet, because I don't want people to use that information to, one, try and murder me, two, try and rape me, or three, try and get me fired from my job just out of spite and bad mind and those kind of reasons. And so I have to be careful as a single woman living in the city. And so please just respect and understand why I wouldn't give more details. But yeah, so let's start with the journey to this job, which would go way back to January 2020 when I first moved to Canada as a permanent resident. And when I got there, I thought, okay, things are going to be great. New country. I'm gonna try and get us one of those survival jobs and see if I can, build an income, save money, and then get more Canadian experience and start to work in my own field, which was environmental biology. And I was hopeful. And then in February 2020, COVID was first diagnosed in Canada, and shit hit the fan. It really, really, really hit the fan. Anyone else probably would have given up a long time ago, but I persevered through the strength of my parents and their prayers and my best friends and my other family members who really loved me and pushed me to keep going and try and make the journey in Canada a successful one. So it was a struggle, but I did it. It took 2 years, but I did it. So I'll start from the beginning with my first job here in Canada, which was as a health surveillance screener at Baycrest Hospital. So at the time, the only places, once Canada went into lockdown, especially Toronto, everyone had to stay home. And the only places that were hiring were supermarkets or essential jobs. So essential jobs. So supermarkets, pharmacies, hospitals, delivery places. Those were the only place hiring. Everyone else had to just stay, kind of them yard, stay home. And I got a job as a health surveillance screener, which is a brand new position that they created just for COVID. And it was the persons who, would take your temperature and also distribute masks and make sure that you were supposed to be at the hospital, because at the time hospitals were under lockdown. No one was allowed in unless you were a patient or a staff member or someone on a visitors list that was declared essential to the patient. So that was my job, to confirm that you were essential to the patient, essential to being there. Otherwise, another part of my job was asking you to leave. Kindly leave. Go home, please. Which is, I'll go into details more on another time how stressful that job was. But this is not a negative video. That would be a negative video. So I got that job in April of 2020. So I went 2.5 months without a job, and I had no idea what I was gonna do, because I was not completely running out of money, but I had enough money to survive 6 months. And if I'm already gone 2.5 months without any prospects of a job, and then COVID was just getting worse and worse, I was starting to panic. And at that point, I couldn't even go home because the borders were closed. So I was stuck. I was stuck in a country by myself. And I don't want to relive that time. So let's continue. So I got that job through a hiring agency. And I got that hiring agency's contact through YMCA Scarborough, which had a employment seminar that I did go to when I first landed. And they gave me an employment assistant, someone who would send me information about how to get a job. Such an angel. She was such an angel. She just always checked up on me, saw my progress, reviewed my resumes, sent me jobs. So they told me about a hiring agency that got me that position through their contract with Baycrest. So I wasn't hired directly with Baycrest. And from there, I was able to make an income. It wasn't full time. It was like 4 days a week, but it was enough money to keep me going. And then I worked there for a month and that contract ended. But luckily, right before that contract ended, I got another one at a large supermarket chain here that does personal shopping. So you order online your groceries, and then the person in store would pick the groceries, bag them, and then you'd get it delivered in your car, which became super popular during the pandemic because no one wanted to go in store. No one wants to go around. Everyone was in isolation and lockdown. So we had like 50 orders a night. So they hired a bunch of people for that position that usually only had one person a night. Now it was like 25 people. Over exaggeration, it was like 7 people a night. And I liked that job. I got to meet so many new people. I was getting more hours with that job, so it's a good thing I had it because that really took me through the next 2 months. And I was getting 5 days a week at that job. So honestly, that saved me. And then in July 2020, I applied for another job at a different hospital directly through them as a health surveillance screener with the experience I had, the 1 month experience I had at Baycrest. I'm not going to mention the hospital's name because yeah. So I applied there and I got that job, and that became my full-time job. And then I was working at the supermarket part-time because Lydia, she don't do one job. Lydia has been working 2 jobs for the past 13 years of her life since I left school. I don't know why I do this to myself. But when you're single and you're living on your own and you want to save, you have to do that. So I had those 2 jobs that I was working for from July 2020 to May 2022 when I finally got this new job. It's been a journey. So I was working at the hospital as a COVID screener, making sure that people who weren't supposed to be at the hospital weren't coming in, handing out masks, doing health checks. What was the other thing I did? Oh, transporting actual COVID patients. So how like everyone else was avoiding people with COVID and like had the plague and being scared of COVID. I was like walking them through the hospital in the planned arrangement for persons with COVID, because COVID patients still need to go to their doctor's appointment. Sorry, they do. If they can't do it over the phone, they still need to go. So when they came in, I was like, hey, I'm just going to put on my PPE and take you where you got to go. Follow me. And a lot of them appreciated that I didn't treat them like lepers because they weren't. It's not their fault they have COVID. And I did that job for a year and a half, almost 2 years. And I didn't get COVID once. Knock on wood, I haven't gotten COVID since the pandemic. I was kind of sick back in February 2020, but we don't know if it was COVID. But yeah, working at the hospital actually kept me safe from COVID, which is weird because I had the mask on at all times. I was wearing full PPE, so thanks. Didn't get COVID, and I got the vaccine pretty early because of that job. So I did love that job. There were aspects about that job that really ruined my day a lot, but I love that job and I love the people I worked with. But I knew with COVID wrapping up, because cases were dwindling, a lot of people weren't dying, everyone was getting the vaccine, I knew I had to get a new job. So luckily one of my supervisors, she said, why don't you kind of get volunteer experience in a new field instead of focusing on just environmental sciences? And I said, you're right. So she helped me to get a volunteer position at a very well-known, impressive research lab here in the city. And honestly, the experience I got from that, the lab experience, was amazing. And I was very, very, very lucky to get that. And I was there. I was basically working full-time, 4 days a week, 5 days a week. Okay, I was working full-time, 9 to 5, 4 days a week. And then volunteering 1 day a week on a Friday. And then taking a nap and going to my other job overnight for 2 months. You see what I put myself through? But you saw the struggle? This is why I'm so happy right now that I have this new job, because I don't have to struggle anymore. I do not have to struggle anymore. Thank you, Jesus. So I was doing that until March, until the end of March 2022, when I applied for this new job. Honestly, I wasn't going to apply for the job, but the same supervisor was like, okay, you don't have all the technical skills that they want, but you're very professional, always on time, good with technical skills, learning new things, mastering techniques. Apply for the job. And I was like, okay. Because honestly, this is someone who I respect and I appreciate and like motivated me to be the best I could. And I owe my life. Okay, not my life, but I really owe a lot to this person. So thank you very much, person who may not watch this video and but knows themselves. So I applied for that job. It was a long process. I did, what was it? One interview, and then I had to wait like a month to hear back. But when I heard back that I got the job, happiest day of my life. The struggle was over. The salary is amazing. The actual job, which I'll go into a little, it's incredible. And then the benefits and the pension. It's just, yes. I think my parents were more happier than I was because they didn't have to see their baby girl struggling anymore by herself in Canada. She's set. So I'm very happy that my old supervisor pushed me to apply for this job. I'm happy that I got the lab experience that I needed from the volunteer position. I'm happy that working in a hospital environment also helped me with bedside experience that I need for this job. It's not in my field. Oh, so let's talk about the job as much as I can. I help cancer patients through infusions that help to build their immunity and recover from treatment. So I work in a hospital. I work with nurses, and I'm just trying to explain the job without giving it away. And not now, because I'm not even halfway through my training. Not now, but later I will learn to freeze products that will be used for infusions for cancer patients. So the whole thing is to process the products and then later infuse them. So I'm a technician. I'm a technician in that field. That's all I'm going to say. And it's a very rewarding job. Being with patients and helping them it's like everyday good deeds. Every day I get to do a good deed, which helps someone's life. So I can't, that's just the best part. Helping people is the most rewarding thing for me. At my old job, I was able to help so many people, came in contact with so many patients that I still think about and still love even now, even though some of them even passed. Most rewarding experience ever. So it's just continuing. And this is definitely a job that I don't mind doing till the day I die, which won't happen because I'll retire by then. But honestly, it's an amazing job. I'm very happy. The struggle is over. I'm glad I have this job. I'm glad I was pushed to apply for it. And even though it's not in my field, I don't even care because the struggle to get my driving license to work in my field, that was hard enough. I don't care anymore. So Liddy is living the dream. And I just want to say thank you to everyone who kept me sane these past 2 years, because it wasn't easy, guys. It wasn't easy. It would have been easier without COVID. That really messed things up. But, through the struggle, you really find a reward in what you do. And that's exactly how I feel today. But thank you to everyone for the support. I did it. I'm very happy. And so till next time, bye.